A woman with no money or power can capture the hearts of the wealthy. The first step is to do what you like. When in college, she heard that a man was obsessed with the game of Go. For 10 years, she worked on it, then came to the Go hall he frequented and played chess with a group of old men. He was going to make a name for himself. The rich man heard his rumors and came to the Go hall to watch curiously. He saw the woman was simply dressed with a cold temperament, but when it came to the game, she became lethal. She even scratched the head of the old man opposite. The chaebol was very interested in this. Just like a donkey, he was being led. He counted carefully and it worked. There was something else going on here. He was just about to ask for her name, but she walked right past him without even looking at him. After returning home, he replayed the chess game, trying to talk to her in his head. The woman had already won the chess game, so why did she continue to play against her opponent? This quirky atmosphere successfully aroused the chaebol's curiosity. From then on, whenever he thought of his chess game, he also thought of her delicate and beautiful face full of stories. But the interview never materialized. The woman who haunted him was watching his every move. She even secretly recorded how often he came to the Go hall every day, waiting for the right moment. This big fish really took the bait. His hasty footsteps revealed his impatience. He came to the Go hall every day, looking forward to meeting her again. However, the woman never appeared. He secretly laughed at his passion and left in disappointment. When he got to the door, the woman, Wendongen, passed by him. The hair lifted by the breeze emitted a charming aroma, and his psychological defenses instantly collapsed. He stood there, eyes glued to her back. When she saw the woman with her hair tied up make eye contact with him, he swallowed unconsciously. Later, the two began to discuss the game. Wendongen, playing as black, routed the chaebol's defense step by step. This was because his mind was not on the chessboard at all. In this tense match, the two were silent for a long time. In the end, the chaebol couldn't help but speak first. Every time Wendongen answered, he was surprised. It was this uncontrollable mystery that fascinated him even more. She won the game, and when she looked at him, he still hadn't come to his senses. Wendongen took her money and decided to leave. The chaebol immediately offered a 5-fold bet to retain her, trying to regain the initiative with money. But in this chess game, the winner was already known. He had completely fallen for her. The two met at a convenience store that night. This time, the chaebol decided not to be reserved and gave her his business card. This was a card that many people dreamed of, but she didn't take it. She just took her own rice balls and left smartly. The chaebol didn't yet know that, not far away, someone was secretly photographing his infatuation. Later, Wendongen disappeared from his world again. The feeling of her being gone completely hooked him. He built a chess park in the city center and came there every day to play chess. Inadvertently, that beautiful face would float into his mind. He had completely sunk. At this time, Wendongen saw that he had matured. She printed out the photos from that night and sent them to the rich man under someone else's name. There was no threat in the envelope, only a business card named Sun Mingwu. If he cared enough about Dongen, he would track down the source of the photo. The chaebol's curiosity was indeed aroused, and he dialed the number on the business card. But Sun Mingwu had disappeared, and only the boss of the infrastructure company was found. The rich man would never have guessed that this person was the man who had a 20-year secret love history with his wife, Park Yeonjin. In the last episode, we talked about how Wendongen was bullied in high school. For revenge, she carefully planned for 17 years. Using a Go move, she successfully weighed on Sun Mingwu, one of her high school bullies. The person who killed him was a talented lady, Mississippi Park Yeonjin, who was also Wendongen's #1 enemy. Although Park Yeonjin's family was rich and difficult to deal with, Dongen discovered a shocking secret. Her daughter was colorblind, but her husband was not. The person who was truly colorblind was Park Yeonjin's ex-boyfriend, Kwon Jae-jun, who was also a member of the bullying group from 18 years ago. After learning the secret, Dongen carefully designed the opening scene. The truth often needs to be uncovered by yourself to be even more shocking. The next day, Kwon Jae-jun went to the Go hall to find out where Sun Mingwu had gone, but nobody knew. He didn't know yet that Sun Mingwu was dead. Kwon Jae-jun couldn't contact Sun Mingwu, but he noticed that Park Yeonjin's husband smoked the same brand of cigarettes as the man he met and held them the same way she did. The chaebol was starting to become suspicious. He told Kwon Jae-jun that if he found Sun Mingwu, he must contact him. Neither of the two men with secrets would answer, so they had to exchange business cards. This also gave the chaebol new clues. He realized that Sun Mingwu had threatened many people, and his targets were all related to Park Yeonjin. When the chaebol returned home, he took out a photo of Yeonjin with her bridesmaids and groomsmen, but Sun Mingwu wasn't in it. He curiously asked where Yeonjin was, and her reaction was even more intriguing. The chaebol had always regarded Yeonjin as a pretty accessory, but he never expected that this vase was already cracked. Next, Kwon Jae-jun would give him a push. Earlier, Dongen had sent him something in Sun Mingwu's name, Yeonjin's daughter's toothbrush. After the paternity test report came out, The little girl and her husband's genes matched by up to 99%. It turned out that all these years, Park Yeonjin had been raising Kwon Jae-jun's daughter. The news made him angry, but also a little bit happy because the little girl was so cute. When they met, she tidied up her collar, but the girl, with her color blindness, couldn't tell the difference. Kwon Jae-jun was watching this scene, and he rushed forward and hugged the girl tightly. At this moment, he made up his mind that he must get his daughter back. It wasn't that Kwon Jae-jun had suddenly found a conscience. It was his possessiveness at work. He treated the girl as a precious asset, and now that it was snatched away, he was determined to regain custody. To do so, he called his lawyer into the house. However, he was met with a cold dose of reality. The lawyer explained that he wasn't even qualified to sue. Even if Yeonjin divorced, the first choice for custody would still be Yeonjin and her husband. The only way he could get custody was if he married Yeonjin after they divorced. This gave Kwon Jae-jun a headache. As a wealthy man who had lived a life of carefree pleasure, he never thought about getting married. But to get back his treasure, he called Park Yeonjin. He grabbed her by the throat, questioning her harshly. He then kissed her directly. He thought he could act like a domineering boss to win her back. But he didn't know that Park Yeonjin had married the chaebol for money, not for him. The reason she agreed to marry him was that she wanted him to keep the secret. A few days later, Dongin held a parent-teacher meeting. Not only did Yeonjin's husband come, but so did Dongin's special guest, Kwon Jae-jun. A parent-teacher meeting with two dads was bound to be explosive. As they tested each other, the woman Yeonjin's husband had been thinking about for a long time appeared. He never expected that his daughter's head teacher would be her. At this moment, he understood that there was no providence in their encounter. It was all a calculation. But what did Dongin want? If you want to find out, then I can only ask from this talkative Choi Huiting. Deng Luan found Xiao Tsue's handle before and successfully turned him. Now, adding the temptation of Hermes, it's not impossible to betray a friend. At this moment, he has no reservations about Park Yeonjin's prominent dark history by the riverside. He Daoying suddenly realized it turns out that he has become one Dongin's revenge pawn. The child also let He Daoying recognize that the wife who has slept with her for 10 years has such a vicious side. He Daoying got up and asked him what the hell is going on with this Wendon. But Park Yeonjin said that he had made peace with him. Besides, those are just the past. Now is the most important thing, isn't it? So far, it has been the foundation of its poverty. However, once the seeds of doubt are sown, they will take root and sprout. That night, he invited him to meet him at the Go Park. I want to ask Ching the ins and outs. Dongwon has no intention of hiding himself. He bluntly said that he wanted to leave Park Yeon-young with nothing. But He Daoying just said something. Someone married me, I'm a fool. Dongwon was surprised for a moment. He Daoying's style is to occupy an absolute dominant circle. So Dongwon didn't tell him directly about the amazing secrets of Park Eun-jin. Instead, he let He Daoying go to his home, where there was everything he wanted to know. Park Yeon-jin, at this time, through the undercover investigation of a black cop, found Wendon's place. And this address is actually right next door to his own house. At this moment, Park Yeon-jin is condescending, mocking a prey. How dare you make a home near a hunter? Then he called the lockpicker, spending a lot of money to forcibly pry open Donggin's door. Park Yeon-jong just walked into the room, shocked by what she saw. The room is covered with photos of bullying groups. It's a revenge gallery. Just then, the door was opened. He shows a little sound effect, ready to taunt Wendon, but he never thought the people who came turned out to be her husband and Daoying. The two fell into a long silence. In the end, Park Yeon-jin spoke first, questioning him. This is the first time He Daoying has seen the other side of Park Won-jong. Once I took all the handles like that, Park Yeon-jong is best at shifting the focus. It's obviously his fault, but he put all the responsibility on He Daoying. At this moment, he looked helpless. It turns out that the other side of this vase is so unsightly. He Daoying slowly walked to the photo wall. One of the photos of the daughter going to the ophthalmology department gets his attention. And the back of this photo is actually all in the county. See this wise He Daoying? I've already guessed that it's almost inseparable. As the director of this play, Wendon is enjoying his masterpiece with surveillance. He Daoying took the photo. He remembered what John Jae-jun said last time. The truth that He Daoying is unwilling to face, but the evidence kept coming. Sun Mingwu, before he disappeared, asked the secretary to relay his threatening message. The secretary hesitated and decided to hand it over to He Daoying. Park Yeon-jong pretends to be virtuous, trying to save his image, but He Daoying no longer has a good face for him. Why did Park Yeon-young return to Daoying? Just lose your temper at your past. They don't know their secrets. It is being dug out bit by He Daoying. Later, there is only one question in He Daoying's mind. What will Dongin do next? So He Daoying came to him again. In the dining room, Dong-en deliberately injured himself by 80 showing it all, that shocking mark. Although He Daoying already knew the truth, he was still shocked by the scene in front of me. He Daoying is worried about getting a divorce will affect the company's stock price, and the issue of daughter custody. Keeping Park Yunjong is the best option for him. But Don's next move: He Daoying, I'm afraid you can't take it anymore, because the East Gate still has an ace in the county. That's when Don found out at school this male teacher is a pervert. He made the little girl climb high in a skirt, then take a camera to secretly shoot. Later, Dong En told Kwon Zaijuan about it, but He Daoying was not notified, because only Kwon Zaijuan's irritable personality can set off a storm. All those who heard the news raced all the way in the county. Come to the school office. I recognized this mushroom head at a glance. All in the county pick up the camera side. Mushroom head was hit and bleeding. All in the army still doesn't mean to stop, until the little girl appeared, and then there was a lot of hype. And He Daoying, as a father, you're like an outsider. I didn't know until someone called him. In the evening, he came to the police station to deal with the matter. At this time, He Daoying was already on fire. But it's all in the county, but it's adding fuel to the fire. He said, suing the mushroom head. He has to do it. A proud, rich second generation. In this moment, all decency is gone. After this championship match, the river should be completely awakened. He arranged for his daughter to live at his mother's house. Avoid harassment throughout the county. Yen Jun, who heard the news, came to question. But He Daoying doesn't care about him at all now. The relationship between the two is completely broken. Even if they are not divorced, it is impossible for He Daoying to give him any help. Park Won-young collapsed to the ground. The talented husband he has always been proud of vanished at this moment, and Park Won-jong got a call. The only person who could possibly turn him around appeared. This person is Won Dong-en's mother. 18 years ago, this mother was bribed by the parents of a bullying group. Changed Don's reason for dropping out to unable to adapt. Even after taking the money, I abandoned Dong En, who just turned 18. Facing this mother who only sees interests, how should Won Dong-en respond?